Number one, I am a rock rib conservative, unabashedly so. Many of you listen to the program know that. And when I talk about conservatism, do for self is as conservative as it comes. I'm a capitalist. I believe in the free enterprise system. I believe that people need to get paid. They call me get paid Wade. I want everybody to eat. Everybody's got to eat. Now here's the deal. I invite your participation going forward. I want you to continue to watch CWU-TV and listen to the Kim Wade Show at WYAB 103.9 FM, WYAB.com, Monday through Fridays from 4 to 6. Continue to listen in, add your input, and see if we can be the example for all of America to point to and say, they're doing it right down in Jackson, Mississippi. Now there's a message in there for a believer. Welcome to Wade 2025 on CWU-TV on YouTube, CWU-TV Network on Facebook, CWU-TV on Rumble. Call 601-397-6752 if you have questions or comments. Matter of fact, leave your comments, likes, and shares, and you can subscribe to all our channels. Check it out today. All right, folks, we're back. And we've got a show for you today. I got a question. Do we have a branding problem? We, the community of Jackson, we, the black community, we who call ourselves concerned about our fellow man, in this case, our fellow citizen. I'm going to play for you a little video clip of incidents been taken, a video all around the country regarding crime and the perpetrators of this crime. Now, it's not all black and it's not all white, but it's a sign of where our community is headed, and we should be concerned. And I want to ask the question, do we have a branding problem or do we have a problem? So I just want you to take the next 4 or 5 minutes and watch this video. And then if you want to offer your nickels and dimes to the marketplace of ideals, you can always participate by giving us a call, 397-6752, area code 601. All right, if you would, let's start the video.
Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about leaving the cities. Your time is almost up. If you're still in the suburbs, if you're still in some of these metropolitan areas, my goodness, folks, it's time to go. In fact, I've seen comments recently in my videos saying, along the lines of, Zach, it's probably too late. And the way the housing market is, you might have a real hard time selling your place as it is now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these videos that have been going around Twitter right now and just showing the crime is out of control. And there will be people out there I know who will tell you, oh, Zach, there's always been crime. There's just as much crime today as there was in the past. That's a bunch of nonsense. Stores are closing. Walmart has closed down, I think, most of the stores in Portland, or is it Seattle? Like 4 stores. Whole Foods is closing down stores. Trader Joe's, I even think is closing down stores. So we got Whole Foods. There was something else too, Publix or something. People are actually closing their stores because they can't withstand the crime. Target. There was this video that came out the other day of Target. Check this video out. So it starts off saying, this is what my Target in San Francisco looks like now. And so this is the San Francisco Target. Everything is in cases. Everything in the store is in cases. Yes, crime is out of control. And so, yeah, this is what we're moving to. Everything will be in cases. And eventually, we've already heard from Walmart and some of these other big box stores that they are planning on having pickups. They're going to close the stores entirely. That's the long-term plan, is to close these stores entirely and just move to pickups, drive curbside service or delivery. That's where it's moving to. And all these small mom and pop shops are going to be closed down because they're not going to be able to withstand the crime. And if you try to defend your store, you're going to go to jail because the prosecutors aren't going to prosecute the criminals. And if you defend yourself with lethal force, because that's what it's going to take with these people to stop them, then you're going to go to jail. And so you'll be put out of business and everything will belong to Walmart and Amazon. We saw this video. I showed this earlier in the week. This was a Domino's delivery driver. He was obviously handicapped, and these guys in the neighborhood came up to him and wanted to see what's in the bag. And he's like, no, I need the money. You know, where's the money? And they were robbing his car. If you can see in the background, they just robbed his car and ran off. And then they took the bag, took the pizzas, and off they go. So, and this poor guy, obviously disabled. He's just trying to make some money being a delivery guy, and they stole whatever it was out of his car and stole the pizzas. See, these services and products will stop being delivered if the crime is not dealt with. And right now, it seems like in these cities, the prosecutors are not cracking down on the crime because they feel they can't do that. They feel like if we do so, it's racist, and it's all insane. Here's another video of Walmart where they are basically looted. They've looted the Walmart, and the cops have come and tried to kick as many people out of the store as possible. But there was some damage, and I forgot which Walmart. This was in Philadelphia or somewhere. Oh, no, this was Atlanta. I think this was an Atlanta Walmart that this happened to. It's hard to keep track these days. There's so many of these things happening. But this was in Atlanta where they looted a Walmart, and the police responded, and I think they eventually got control of the situation. But there was damage to the store. This video was taken, I forgot what city it was in, but it was a mall, and this woman was caught stealing. I'll play the video, and I'll turn the volume down. But she was caught stealing. They try to take the products back, and then they end up, the store employees carry her out of the store, and she's screaming the entire time because she knows she was caught stealing, and she doesn't like it. And so she saw all these videos online where you could go in and just steal whatever you wanted to steal. And they caught her and wouldn't let her do it, so she's throwing a fit. So, again, just another example. This is a mall. I forgot what mall it was and what city it was. Somebody in the comments below can let me know what mall this was. Now, this one just goes to show that this is not, it has nothing to do with color. Here's a, white guy walking out the store without paying, and they're following him out to his pickup truck. Looks like the license plate is not covered. So they got the license plate, and he knows he's caught. He knows he's on camera, and he gets in the vehicle. He can't shut the door because the brooms he's stealing are in the way. And off they go with who knows what else stuff that they threw in the pickup truck. But it's everywhere. It's happening everywhere. And again, if these companies cannot protect their products and cannot protect their employees, they will shut down. And that's what's coming. We're already seeing it. I'm going to take a sip of my lemon water. I did a lot of work on the homestead today, guys.
You saw there what is happening across this
Planted a lot of
country.
stuff.
And
Shoveled a lot of
they're
manure.
so concerned about food deserts. And
when you're smelling poop, things are growing.
economic
So it's always a good thing. So I'm having my
opportunities
lemon water.
Why we don't have this type of business here it is. Folks, I'm trying to ring the alarm bell to anyone who will listen and hear it. Our community is in trouble. This is why every week I'm trying to comb through these relationships that we have and people have on our behalf who supposedly represent us, be it the various NGOs or the various civil rights organizations or the political organizations like the Black Caucus, the Spanish Caucus, or whatever caucus you got out there. We got to start asking the question, who are they looking out for? When a DA takes money from George Soros for the sole purpose of fulfilling what George Soros wants, which is being soft on crime, how does that benefit the community? When it's black people who put you in the position with their votes, and yet you only honor the money that he gave you by prosecuting police officers, people who have to protect themselves and use a firearm in the course of protecting themselves, then you want to use the full weight of the law against that person, and yet you let criminals run amok and they're running off our businesses, cratering our tax base, and we're supposed to believe that you got the best interest of the black community in mind, or white community, or the green community. I want those of you who are staunch supporters of all things Democrat and liberal progressive, what is your point? Why would you want to destroy everything? Why? You're the one always talking about we need to have a conversation about race, getting together, getting along. Why do we have to put up with all this crime? And why are you encouraging our young people to run amok in the streets by putting a chip on the shoulders that you've been carrying around for the last 60, 70 years, or however long it's been, however long you've been on this planet? I'm just telling you, folks, when we come back from this into the next break, we're going to be discussing this a little bit more detail about who's pulling the strings, who's doing it, who's profiting from all this, and why should we put up with it? Why should we continue to allow the very people who benefit, who get their checks on the 1st and the 15th of every month like clockwork, to break everybody else's plate? When Walmart shuts down, Target shuts down, those are jobs that are lost for people who live in our community. Folks, there's a method to this madness, and there's a connection to what they're doing to us as they say they're doing it on our behalf. I say what we need to do is step in and break it up at the door without apologies, with a stern look and a firm kick. We'll be right back.
I am Chef Shishi, the owner of Just in Time, the featured chef of the JMMF Culinary Kitchen, where we prepare farm-to-fork centered, healthier, all-natural foods in the urban community.
Call 601-397-6752. Call in now at 601-397-6752.
All right, welcome to Wade 2025 on CWU-TV on YouTube, CWU-TV Network on Facebook, and CWU-TV on Rumble. You can also call 601-397-6752, and you can make your comments. You can contribute to the marketplace of ideas with your nickels and dimes of thoughts. Leave your comments, like and share, subscribe to all our channels. All right, folks, you saw the video. This is happening real time as we speak right now. Further on into the video, they show a gentleman coming out to get in his work truck, getting some things out the back of his work truck, and 3 young boys, happen to be black, with the hoodies on, come up and draw down on him and make him give up his keys, take his truck. Folks, we sit back and say, they don't like us because we're black. No, people are afraid. Even black people are afraid. Our young people are running amok, which brings us back to what we have discussed a couple of Sundays ago about House Bill 1020 and how it is the middle class blacks, or what W.E.B. Du Bois called the talented 10th in our communities, the black lawyers and the black professional politicians and preachers and everyone else. They're diametrically opposed to House Bill 1020, which is being put in place by the legislature to help citizens of Jackson and Hinds County with this out-of-control crime. And in the course of this bill being debated through the media and their lackeys in the media, they've been able to flip the script and say that, what's going on? Flip the script and being able to say that the House Bill 1020 is going to somehow harm black voting rights. No, what harms black voting rights is the crime that's running the citizens away from the city of Jackson. So I'm just telling you now, folks, we have to start being very pointed in our questioning of these legal groups that are going into federal court on behalf of the black community and ask them, by whose authority are you doing this? Well, there's a law in the book saying that this is wrong. Okay, but who asked you to do that? Because we got all these people saying that they represent the black communities. You got the set-aside folks who take advantage of the set-aside contracts, saying that they should get a portion of the contracts and the money that the city's spending for services, et cetera, because they're black. Okay, but by whose authority are you doing all these things? And why does the benefit of all that go to you directly and not to all of us, since all of us suffer those collective harms and wrongs. No, these are some questions we're going to have. We're going to have during this mayoral campaign, and I'm telling you now, we're not going to wait until we get down to City Hall to start asking these questions and demanding answers. I'm asking right now. As I pointed out last week, I want to know who was the member of the Black Caucus here in the state of Mississippi, in the Mississippi legislature, who took it upon themselves to tell all the other legislators who happen to be black and a part of the Black Caucus to vote against House Bill 1020. Why do we constantly have this unity amongst the Black Caucus members on things that are so critical to the entire community, the future and the livelihood and the stability of the black community, and we don't ever get any discussion on it? They come on WMPR and all these other stations whenever there's a threat against the black vote, but they never come on there on behalf of there's a threat to the black community's economic life. I want to know why. I want to know who these Negroes are who are doing this. Is it the president of the Black Caucus? I believe it's Miss Turner Ford out of Lowndes County up there. Who is it? If she's still the president, I don't know. They may have nominated a new president this year, I don't know. But I want to know who is that person that's calling the shot. And then who is telling them to take that position? And if they're taking that position, they ought to be able to give us cause and reason. This whole thing about racism and stuff, that's not enough. They're just hiding behind that so they don't have to provide any type of explanation or point to us. Guys, this is why we got goose eggs on the scoreboard after every legislative session. Nope, the status quo will not stand. I just happen to be one of the first blacks to stand and go on public media and say, hey, this is some cow residue here. We need some answers, and we're going to need some changes. So the question is, who's calling the shots on that, in that instance there? But it's not just that. Who called the shot to tell these lawyers to go down there? Who told the NAACP to go file a lawsuit? On behalf of who? Who gave Derrick Johnson the authority to authorize that lawsuit? And you're asking, well, who gives you permission or the authority to question Derrick Johnson? That's my point. Because we have a large segment of Jackson that's directly affected by the loss of tax revenues that come from a loss of businesses, loss of jobs, and a loss of stakeholders in the city of Jackson because of out-of-control crime, and then all the NAACP is concerned about, and all the Center for Justice, or whatever it is that Vangela Wade is head of this time around, all they're concerned is whether or not we're going to get 2 more black judges. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got crime out of control. So what is the color of the judge going to mean when we need some answers right now? Now, you didn't go using all this illegal prowess that you have to help in any other way as long as this logjam and crisis in the Hinds County justice system has existed. You haven't offered not one solution. And now when you see an opportunity to make a payday by going into federal court and suing the state of Mississippi, suing us, now you got a concern. No, you just like any other profession, you see an opportunity to make some money. Because if it was about what was good for the black community, you'd have been out there swinging and throwing some blows on behalf of the besieged citizens of Hinds County and Jackson, Mississippi, from all this crime, and you weren't there. So you got some explaining to do. You guys aren't going to just keep getting to do this without there being some commentary. Now, you can't continue to take the position, I ain't got to answer Kim Wade. I don't know who he thinks he is. Well, you know what? I'm asking the same question. I don't know who you are or who you think you are. But if there's someone out there, if the state needs me to be a plaintiff or a witness in their case in defense of the House Bill 1020, I'll certainly be it. Because I want order in Jackson. I want the crime brought under control, and I want all the help that we can get. And having all these lawyers suing on behalf of crackheads and criminals ain't getting us there. And yet if you notice something, folks, I want you to look at this here. I want you to look at the at the people involved with these lawsuits. Look at where they live. Look at where they live. I bet if 2 out of 10 of them live in the city of Jackson, I would be shocked. They're just like those lawyers who go into federal court to sue to let these people out of these regional 8, whatever it is, the health centers and the state hospitals and all the hospitals that house people with mental challenges and things like that. They go into federal court to get those people released, to be normalized and mainstreamed back into society, and yet they live out in Madison, Rankin, or in Washington, D.C. somewhere. No, Hoss, why don't you come talk to us before you go out there and doing all these things on our behalf? Folks, this is what you're going to get in a mayor should I throw my hat in the ring and become a mayor of this city. You're going to get some plain talk, some no-nonsense talk, and all this foolishness about everybody marching around supposedly on behalf of everybody else. Well, Hoss, we better start seeing some wins on the scoreboard, because right now ain't nobody winning but y'all. You're getting paid for bringing these lawsuits. You're just draining off the tax base of the city of Jackson. And this is why I'm saying, I had a young man tell me, well, black people ain't gonna vote for you because white people vote for you. Well, you know what, Hoss? Then they told me that they would not vote for me. Well, you know what? I don't want their vote. I want an up or down vote from people who want Jackson to succeed, or those who like things the way they are. Those who like things the way they are, they can go vote for Marcus Wallace or whoever else has thrown their hat in the ring. But I'm gonna tell you now what you're gonna get with me. I'm gonna be a builder of buildings and a builder of men. We have a poverty spirit on the citizens of Jackson via the so-called leadership that they've been subjugated to for the last 20, 25 years, both political, spiritual, and in too many cases, from the business community. We're just going in a different direction. I don't have a magic wand. What we're gonna come in there and do and just stop doing the stupid stuff, the things that just like in The Color Purple, when that young man told Harper, it's gonna rain on your head, because he's up there trying to fix that roof. And the young man could see that he was doing a shoddy job. See, they tell you that you got to be somebody, you got to have certain kind of degrees and all that kind of stuff. Hoss, I'm just somebody with some common sense. I'm gonna pull the sense out of the nonsense, and we're gonna make this work. But these folks going into federal court and doing all this stuff on our behalf, folks, that's gonna be brought to a minimum. I can't stop somebody from filing what they want to file, but we're gonna let them know. And we're gonna let the federal courts know, and anyone else know. Hoss, we're trying to build Jackson. We ain't trying to piss people off. We're trying to make Jackson work. So I'm just encouraging you to stand with those who want to build Jackson, be they white, black, or sky blue, green. If they have an eye in the middle of their forehead and have on a ballerina dress, I don't care. If they want to move Jackson forward, we can do it. But it's not going to be moved forward with the rhetoric of, I love you and I'm looking out for you. Anybody tell you that? Hoss, they don't have your best interests in heart. Well, what are you saying, Kimway? I said, I'm going to do what's best for Jackson. We're going to stop doing stupid stuff as it relates to how we expend our money and how we make policies that go against the hardworking men and women and their dreams to have a better Jackson via the sweat of their brow, elbow grease, and they're willing us to get up and put one foot in front of the other and try to make it happen for themselves and for their family, and as a result of that, Jackson too. We'll be right back.
I am Chef Shishi, the owner of Just in Time, the featured chef of the JMMF Culinary Kitchen, where we prepare farm-to-fork centered, healthier, all-natural foods in the urban community.
Call in now at 601-397-6752. Call in now at 601-397-6752.
All right, welcome to Wade 2025 on CWU-TV on YouTube, CWU-TV Network on Facebook, and CWU-TV on Rumble. You can also call 601-397-6752 and add your nickels and dimes to the marketplace of ideals right here at CWU-TV. All right, folks, and also you can like, share, and leave your comments. You can also subscribe to all our channels. If you would, we'd appreciate it. Again, folks, we're back, the final segment. And look, yes, the theme is not going to change as it relates to what has to be done here in the city of Jackson. We cannot allow these folks to keep doing what they're doing unquestioned. We don't owe them anything. We don't owe them a set-aside position. We don't owe them anything. They just like anybody else, they got to get up and hustle. And like I asked Mr. Garrett when I was on his show a couple weeks ago, why all the set-aside contracts and city dollars and government dollars have to go to people who are in construction, people in engineering, people in law? We got a lot of other professions that people are involved in. But now I'm gonna be clear with you. The only way I would even consider continuing on with set-aside programs in the city of Jackson if I were mayor, if this city council passed a law or a resolution demanding that the Democrat Party pay reparations along with the city of Jackson, if they were going to go down that road. If you're not willing to do that, Hoss, we will put contracts out for bid, like the garbage contract, and there ain't going to be no shenanigans. Let those who will come and bid on it. But we're not going to do the set-aside thing. We can't afford it. I was just in South Jackson before I came here to today's show, and I'm riding around in Cedarwood and Willowwood, and I'm looking, I said, these people keeping their homes up, beautiful neighborhood, pride of ownership, and I'm looking at the streets. The street bed is just, you can't repair some of those streets. They have been allowed to deteriorate too far. That means you're going to have to tear the whole entire street up, down to the street bed, and start over. Folks, we can't do that in a scenario where we have declining tax revenues coming into the city, and out of those declining tax revenues, we got to pay an extra 25 cents to 50 cents on a dollar so we can include some minority set-asides on the contract. No, no, hell no. We're not doing that. We can't afford it, and we can't afford it because of you. You being the set-aside Negroes who in many cases you didn't do your job right the first time around. We had to come back, come behind you, pay someone else, pay somebody 2 or 3. We're not going to do this. And for you to keep asking that of us lets me know that you're not sincere. Hoss, we don't owe you that. So you might as well get your lips pooched out right now. They're going to be pooched out like you smuggling moon pies. I don't care. I'm breaking it up at the door. So when you come in to do business with the city of Jackson, this mayor is not going to ask you, well, you're going to have some minorities on it? If you want to have minorities on it, that's between you and them. You're not going to get forced to do it by the city. Because when you have a private relationship, then you can make those numbers work. But we're not going to be paying extra as citizens. Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is getting reparations from ourselves and paying a few select Negroes the benefits of it. No. Now, if the Democrat Party wants to put in some money for reparations, okay, then we can look at that. Because believe me, it wasn't white folks that were doing that. It was specific white folks. Elijah Muhammad talked about them. When he said white devils, he was talking about white Democrats. Get mad, fall down on the ground and kick ball and squall and call me an SOB. That's the truth. Because our grandparents, your grandparents, when they were growing up, kids, teenagers, and they go to town, they had to worry about white Democrats acting a fool. Just had the death of the lady who accused Emmett Till of whistling at her. So when Emmett was coming up in his generation, they had to worry about white Democrats. We got to worry about black Democrats now. These young kids running the streets, running amok. There's something demonic in the platform and programs of that party, and all our spiritual leaders sitting up here acting like that is not the case because they're spiritually bankrupt themselves. Because if they was, they'd be able to discern it. I'm not dropping salt on them. They need to give calls and show, well, why are our kids running amok? because we're buying into that same demonic platform that created those white devils that were killing off the Emmett Tills of his generation. Folks, I'm plain spoken. There's no need to pretend that it's somebody else. Okay, you say, well, the Republicans are racist. Okay, they're racist. They ain't out here running folks down. They ain't doing what they're doing here with this crime. All I'm saying is, guys, we're going to cut the pie down the middle. We're going to be clear-eyed. We're going to go where the facts lead us. If the facts lead to the fact that I'm the problem, Hoss, I got to go. If it leads to the fact that you're the problem, you got to go. No big eyes, no big eyes, no little U's. We're not going to keep doing this anymore. This is not working. We can't afford it. The money is not there. And yet we're paying enough money in tax dollars. See, Jackson doesn't need some kind of super leader, a Martin Luther King, a Medgar Evers. Jackson needs a good project manager. And guess what? We're going to have a city manager under Kim Wade administration who's going to do the day-to-day. You know what my job is going to be? Breaking the BS up at the door. Breaking it up. I'm going to put a foot in their red baboon booties down there who acting a fool, ain't doing right by the taxpayer. We're going to break it up. You can't do that. You can't say it. But you know what? They don't have any problems doing all these things to us, and they sleep well at night. And we're suffering. I want to commend to you, for those of you who didn't see last week's show, which you can go back and find it on YouTube, and you can find it on Rumble and Spotify and Facebook, CWU-TV network on Facebook, and CWU-TV on Rumble if you like. We played the video from Greater City, Mississippi, where a group of visionaries for the city of Jackson, stakeholders, have come up with a video of what they can do with Jackson once the Too Late vision has been fulfilled. And that's on its way to happening. And that's going to be a boon to the tax base of city, to this city. And we need the tax base so we can help share the cost of the water system, et cetera. We can't have all these folks up here making it hard on everyone else because, well, you're going to have so many blacks and so many blues and so many greens before we let you do the project. Oh, well, wait a minute. How you live in Madison County? You going to hold up what's good for Jackson and you live in Madison because you can't get your money off us? I'm breaking it up at the door, Hoss. I'm going to break it up. As soon as you open the door, I'm going to slapping it around. We're not going to do that. I'm telling you. And I'm not trying to act like a tough guy, but I know cow residue when I smell it. What we're going to do is get this, we're going to save the patient of Jackson, which is the tax base. We're going to work with Greater City, Mississippi, on those projects where we can as a city. We ain't got a lot of money to put in. All we can do is make sure that when they come to get permitted and all that, they don't get the runaround. We're not going to be wasting money on opportunity costs being lost because we have some city official dragging their feet or trying to be big shot or trying to shake somebody down. We're not going to put up with that. We're going to be open for business and we're going to do business. And in the words of Dr. King, we're not going to do business in a Negro way. We're going to do business. This is not rocket science. This is about asset management. This is about stewardship. This is a story in the Bible, the parable about Esau and Jacob. Who is going to be a good steward of that which comes into their hands? Right now, we have not been good stewards. We've had some pirates, some cartel members who have been stealing everything they could, taking advantage of the people of Jackson who trusted them, implicitly gave their vote to them, and they're taking advantage of us. They're sitting down there picking the city apart, using their friends in the legal field to take every dime from the taxpayers of Jackson. Hoss, I promise you, you have my word, I will break it up at the door. I don't mean maybe, I don't mean perhaps. I mean sure enough, it's going to happen. All right, all I'm looking for is for people who want Jackson to work to give me consideration. Not me, but the ideas that I'm going to be bringing forth. I'm going to have a 5-point platform that you'll be able to get around or decide you don't want to get around. I need 4 council people to sign on to it because I'm not Superman. I don't have a magic wand. If I can get 4 council people to buy into the vision that will increase the tax base, then you city workers, you might be able to get a raise in the future. But you can't get a raise simply because you've been there X number of years, because the set-aside Negroes, the free-to-land Negroes, and the black-for-a-living Negroes, they have ruined the budget, the tax base of the city of Jackson. And I promise you, If you give me a chance, your host, Radio Strongman, I will break it up at the door. Pow, 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 pow. Right back. I am a rock rib conservative, unabashedly so. Many of you listen to the program know that. And when I talk about conservatism, do for self is as conservative as it comes. I'm a capitalist. I believe in the free enterprise system. I believe that people need to get paid. They call me get paid wage. I want everybody to eat. Everybody's got to eat. Now here's the deal. I invite your participation going forward. I want you to continue to watch CWU-TV and listen to the Kim Wade Show at WYAB 103.9 FM, WYAB.com, Monday through Fridays from 4 to 6. Continue to listen in, add your input, and see if we can be the example for all of America to point to and say, they're doing it right down in Jackson, Mississippi. Now there's a message in there for a believer.